Why did you decide to do a delayed or different vaccine schedule? Do you mind sharing what kind of schedule you follow? We decided to take a slower approach to vaccinating our children and refuse a few that we don't feel we need right now. Do you get negative reactions from healthcare professionals too? We do sometimes, and it's upsetting.
You had one experience that was horrible.
Oh.
You should have called me.
Yeah, I have had some, but for the most part, I've used family doctors, and I've had so much support from them. They have no problem with it at all, although I do vaccinate. Like you, I refuse some of them, and I just do them slower. I don't want to get too far into that vaccine discussion because it can be a hot topic, but that's kind of my first thoughts. I really love family practice doctors for that. At least the ones I have, they have been very supportive, and actually they are old school, but they are great with it. Have you guys experienced any negativity due to being an interracial couple? And if so, how did you deal with it? You have a beautiful family, and I love your channel.
We love you too.
Much love from Texas.
We love Texas too. I love Texas.
Yes, we don't have that interracial couple negativity very often. Every once in a while, we get the stares, and we just stare right back. Or wave.
YouTube
smile.
Sometimes.
Oh yeah, YouTube, and then we delete.
Yeah.
When they're mean.
Yeah.
How do you discipline your children? They're always so well behaved and don't seem to question what you say. We would love to know any tips. We discipline differently based on what's going on, and yeah. Your kids have really good eating habits. How do you handle picky eaters? I think we already answered that one too.
Yeah.
I love your videos, and I'm an interracial couple as well. We lived in Texas, and unfortunately we do get moments of racism, although it has gotten better over the years. I was just wondering if you and your family ever experienced moments of racism and how you deal with it.
We haven't personally experienced any direct, but I do know that it happens a lot, and also we're so grateful for people that have gone before us, because there are a lot of people that have paved the way, and they've taken a brunt of the pain and the ignorance that takes place. And so we totally appreciate those people. So personally, we haven't experienced it, but more credit to all the people that have, and they stayed strong over the years. So.
Every once in a while we see like a way older interracial couple, and that have actually, they're not a new marriage, they've been married for a long time, and I have so much respect for them because
they went through a lot.
Yeah, and I don't know how I would have handled that or done it, and so yeah, I have a lot of respect for them, but sorry you have had to deal with that. That stinks. Holy Toledo, Sarah, just went through the questions. It's only Monday. There's a truckload of questions.
Yes.
Get the kids to separate them all and get rid of the doubles. We just took it as a big old challenge.
I've been sucked into the challenge. Can't you tell?
He's getting tired. We're going to do this.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
What do you like about homeschooling, Sarah? I don't know. I love everything. I really love it. It makes me happy getting up in the morning, and I love it. So I'm thankful for that. What age will you allow your children to date, and will they be able to go on solo dates? I wasn't sure if you would have them do group dates. I do think there's a lot of benefit to group dates, but we have not made those rules yet, and we're not like anti-solo date people.
Not 100%.
Not 100%.
Depends with who.
Yeah.
I guess, but we'll see.
It's gonna be.
Well, it'll be interesting when we get there.
Yes, stay tuned.
But
if we keep vlogging.
I do believe though that the Lord equips parents if we depend on Him, or with wisdom that we need.
Amen.
And discernment.
Amen.
You can smell that crazy boy or girl out there coming. Just the Lord give you discernment to know. So.
Preach.
But. Man, I don't want to even think about it yet. I know it's going to come sooner or later.
It's coming. Best marriage advice. Communicate.
That's true.
I think anytime we're having disagreements, almost every time we're just not communicating well.
Almost? I think it's literally every time.
Yeah, so we just need to listen to each other better. So I think it's worth it, like press through and figure out till you're both understanding each other and feeling understood.
And learn to listen and hear.
Yeah. Budgeting tips for being a stay-at-home mom. How do you balance the stress of motherhood, homeschooling, and being a pastor's wife? Love you and love your channel. My best advice is I try to stay out of the stores because it does help me not to spend money. Now, unfortunately, Amazon's right on my phone now. Pretty much everything I buy, you guys see. So I don't know if that seems like a lot or a little.
But having a written out budget, if you actually review it, if you literally make sure that you review it at least once a month, some people need more.
Yes.
I think it helps you just refocus.
So far.
It does.
Just talking about it and like being intentional.
And it doesn't have to be an hour or 2 hour meeting. It just
Yeah.
looking at it a little bit and saying, okay, what are we
Yep.
spending?
Yep.
Are we hitting our goals? Are we going over?
Even if we go over our budget, if we continue to keep talking about it, we
do
make
better.
so much more
Way better.
progress.
Mhm.
And as far as the stress of motherhood, homeschooling, being a pastor's wife, I don't always handle it that great, but I know when I'm at my max and I need rest, and so I make sure I do that. And he supports me in that, and so that helps a lot. So me and my husband are doing the Dave Ramsey plan and are almost completely done with paying off our debt. To be able to save up 20% down, we would have to save for 2 more years in order to buy a house. We really are struggling with waiting that long and not purchasing something now. Since our kids are already teens, we want them to be able to enjoy it as well. Just wondering if you have any thoughts or answers to this kind of situation. Thank you so much for taking the time to read.
That's good. I applaud you for trying out the Dave Ramsey plan. I would say this. Dave Ramsey, no hate at all. I like you a lot. But he's talking to a very, very broad audience, and he's talking to a culture that has gone completely one way. But if you feel it's the time to buy the house, you should. Don't wait for 20%. That's ideal. I would say that's ideal. But let me give you an example. You could have, maybe you have 10%. Number one, rates are for sure gonna go up. There's no doubt about it, unless there's a major change in the economy, in the political landscape, maybe in November. So the rates are gonna go up. We bought a house, this is my example, not this one, but a very fast house. I did not have 20%. I had 10% down. And I bought a house that had an unfinished basement, put a lot of sweat equity in it. And within 1 year, between the work we put in it and the 10%, I was below 20%. So I was able to refinance and get off of mortgage insurance and never look back from there. So I'm sorry I'm taking so much time, but this could help somebody else that's in the same situation. If you've saved money and you feel it's time to buy the house, you go buy the house that you need. You could get to 20% not by cash. It could be on equity if you buy right as well. Now, ideally, you want that, but that's sometimes not possible, and you're losing time. And that time is money. That time is money. Real estate all over the country has appreciated in the last couple of years. So your 20% could have been there. And so I don't want you to feel bad about what you're doing, because what your track is right. If you keep the same philosophy, all the money that you were going to save for the down payment, start paying it down to your house after you bought it, let's say with 10%, you're still going to be able to achieve your goals. So it's not an all size fit all. It's an ideal situation, but it's not the only way to actually be wise with your money, because a real estate investment is important, especially for your own home. Your kids are going to be out of the house very, very soon.
Yeah.
And so do what you feel is right. Pray, ask the Lord, about it, and just get some peace from above, and you're good.
Yeah. I know your kids are young right now. Is there any dating rules when that time comes? Whoa, we got some themes,
Maybe
guys.
one day we'll do this, yeah.
I enjoy watching your channel, but I do have some questions. I come from a large family. My mom had 9 children. I'm 41 years old now and wouldn't think of having that many children. I feel like my mom was being selfish to have a large family. When it's financially expensive, you take away from other children, expect the older children to help with the younger ones, and cleaning. My mom never made us watch our siblings. Which is very interesting.
Now, can I take this one?
No, wait, I'm not done. Do you ever feel like having so many children takes away from doing more outings, individual time, and do you rely on the older ones for help?
So the question. So to track the question, I see one question here in that whole statement, right?
Do you ever feel like having so many children takes away from doing more outings, individual time, and relying on the older ones to help?
No, I don't.
And our kids, we feel like they're a gift to each other too, siblings.
Yeah.
They love having each other.
Well, I have 5 siblings, and I think that's the best gift my parents could ever give me. They didn't leave me any money, but they give me siblings that I love. Yeah.
Yeah. When your children misbehave, what do y'all do?
We deal with whatever the misbehavior
That's right.
is. Yeah.
Yep. If someone wants to send you a gift, like that one lady sent you, how would we do that? Do you have a PO box? Yes, it's in our about box. I don't have it memorized though. How do you and Solok work out communication in your marriage? Ooh, daily. My husband and I work really hard on communication because we might have grown up pretty similar, but the cultural differences are night and day. I have a lot of food allergies and cannot eat a lot of the food that he cooks. And he understands food allergies, but he talks like American food is not that great and his country's food is the best thing in the world. Do you think your country's food is the best thing in the world?
Well, in some ways.
Yeah.
there's some things we eat in Kenya that I'm like, no. Yeah, so.
I don't discourage him, but I just don't know how to address that. I do tell him about what the doctor says and such, but only sinks in where he lets it sink in. Thanks for your advice. I think just communication, that's the hardest part about marriage.
Yeah, and the best thing when you figure it out.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do, I guess the bottom line of it has to do with really listening.
Yeah.
Really hearing, listening to hear.
And being heard, feeling like you're heard, too,
yeah.
makes all the difference, right?
And it's not a one-way street. That's the hard part about it, too.
That is the hard part. You have to mention Solo being at work. Does he have a full-time job as well as being a pastor? He pastors and then has a business, but I probably call pastoring work, because it is. Like, if I say he's at work, he's probably at church.
Yeah.
Or he's...
the other work.
Or he's at his other work. Who knows? I call it all work.
They both work.
Yep. How do you afford that size of family with one income? We don't have one income.
With multiple incomes.
My husband and I want to start a family, but we're nervous about our financial situation. I'm in college, still in college at 31, and we wonder when to start now or to wait until I'm out of school. Of course, our age is a factor as well.
You can't make significant decisions about life based on fear.
Yeah.
I think when we had our first one, we had our income slashed in half because Sarah quit her job and we made almost the same amount of money at that time in our lives. But somehow, some way, God provided and we work hard and stuff. But you can't really, the decision cannot be fear because you got to have some faith.
Yeah.
So if you're going to, based on fears, there'll never be a perfect time for just about anything. So you have to have some measure of faith to take the step into the things that you really desire to have.
Yeah, and Solo always says too, don't make long-term decisions based on
short-term problems.
So maybe the financial decision or whatever is right now, but that child is a lifetime decision too.
Yeah.
How do you handle having all the children when you don't feel well and have no help? Oh, that is hard. Every mom knows that. It is hard.
Whether you have many children, even one child.
Yes. Also, any tips with having babies so close together? No. I don't have any tips. It's hard, but it's totally worth it, and I know the hard season won't last a long time. How long do you guys plan to stay in your current home? We don't know. I would love to see a nighttime routine for all the littles. Okay. What does Solo do for a living? I think we answered that. How do you guys afford things? Jobs, businesses, money, making money. Destiny's getting so big and chunky. I love it. I love your family. Hope you all have a good week. Thank you. We hope you have a good week too.
Yeah.
That's boy mommy. What made you decide to homeschool your children and how do you stay so positive? I'm a stay-at-home mom as well and sometimes find it hard to balance. Love you guys so much. We'll link that video down below. If you guys could live somewhere else, where would it be?
We answered that too.
Where would you live?
I don't know.
I think travel we answered. Solo will live anywhere. I would too. If one of your children wants to go to public school, would you be okay with that?
We answered that.
Did you always plan to have a big family? We answered that. What's the biggest advice to a large family or the important factor to go live in a go with the flow or large family? Best regards from Germany. Go with the flow.
Yeah. That's true.
Oh, being relaxed
I would agree.
and yeah. How many languages do the kids and you and your husband speak? I barely speak Spanish and barely speak Swahili. But I do speak English.
I speak English and Swahili and a couple other tribal languages.
Why don't you tell them which tribal languages?
No, I'm not. They'll trap me, a couple of them.
He does not like to be put in a box, people.
If you haven't figured that out.
And our kids, they speak some Swahili, not enough. Will you blog when you go back to Kenya? Yes. Vlog, but not blog. Can you come to Australia and have dinner with us? Yes!
Send the charter jet. Send the charter jet, please.
Teresa,
Yeah.
we are on our way.
Yeah.
Can you tell of a difference of opinion you both had and how you worked through it? No, I can't think of one. But we do have differences of opinion all the time, and we communicate.
Talk, listen to hear.
Yes, and sometimes we argue because we're normal, and then we make up. Do you want more kids?
I'm not answering that.
Sarah, as a stay-at-home parent, do you ever feel burnt out and underappreciated for everything that you do? I do feel burnt out once in a long while, and then I just... I feel like just a little time. I am not underappreciated. I do feel like just a little time to myself really refreshes me. What's your most unexpected blessing of having a large family? It's really fun. A lot. It's fun. Solo, and then Sarah, what's your favorite fun date and romantic date to do with one another? We talked about that, eating. We like to eat. Is that romantic? Probably not. Knowing what you know now, I'm sorry, I'm not letting you talk.
I know.
No, knowing what you know now, have either of you changed your mind on how large of a family you prefer and why you kept or changed your preference?
No.
What or who is your biggest inspiration for your marriage? Jesus.
He was never married.
I think people in our lives, like family and friends that have been married a long time, are our biggest inspiration for sure.
Absolutely.
And then a spiritual life as a family. It is the spiritual life as a family. It is part of our life. I mean, we worship together. We got worship music playing in here. We pray together. We go to church together. We read the Bible together. We do spiritual life together.
Just make it part of your life, who you are, and not necessarily scheduled.
Yes.
I think that's most authentic and easy and natural.
Yes. I would like to know how you decide on Christmas gifts for your children. What's the limit of number of gifts per child? Just curious. Really enjoy your videos, as I've said before. I think we covered
we name a budget every Christmas, and then
we don't go crazy.
Yeah.
Love your family and more cooking budget vlogs. I was going to ask a question, but read through all the questions instead. It's more fun. I came from Josephine, which is Solo's sister. So we love you.
Awesome.
Okay, what do you do when your children argue or fight, particularly the older ones? They never argue and fight. Just kidding. I think we answered, actually. We like...
and the older ones don't fight much anyway.
Oh yeah, they really don't much.
They don't really.
No, and when they do, they need to work it out because I mean, like they're going into real life where they'll have marriages and coworkers, and they may have arguments. They need to know how to work through those things. So, have you ever considered adopting, and when do you consider it now after having the 9 biological children you have? We would consider it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, more freezer and cupboard challenges. See how long you can go without shopping. And Solo cooking, please. They like you to cook. He's a good cook. Do you and Solo...
I cook things I'm not supposed to eat.
Do you and Solo ever have date nights? Yes, not often enough. You have so many children. How do you spend time with each individually? I think we kind of answered that. How do you keep on top of the cleaning?
We have a video on that.
Yeah, we do it a lot. Many times a day. We just pick it all up again.
Yeah.
Does each child have a budget for Christmas presents? Yes. We love, or do they have budgets themselves?
For them?
For each other?
They can decide what they want.
They have their own money. We love your sweet family. I've noticed that some of the kiddos have an accent. To me, it's more prominent in Tori. Judah and Belle, I don't really notice. Is this something they grow out of? It's a product of a bilingual home. Whatever it is, I love it.
I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know. We hear that a lot, but I don't know. Are you going to have any more children? And why did you decide not to adopt?
We never decided not to adopt.
No, we pursued several situations that haven't worked out. So, and as far as are we going to have more children?
We answer that.
What do you do to have so much energy? He drinks coffee, I drink Diet Coke. No, I don't know. What do we do to have more energy? I don't know. Maybe we're high.
I'm actually energy deficient right now. Can't you tell?
We don't have energy. Give me some marriage advice for couples considering marriage. I think we did that. What are the qualities of a godly wife?
Proverbs 31. No, I'm kidding.
Well, there are some qualities.
But it is.
You don't have to have all of them.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you approach discipline for your children? Also, do you offer an allowance to your children?
We don't do an allowance, but we do pay them, right?
We do give them some incentive money for keeping up on their work.
Yep.
And then we also don't if they don't.
Yeah, we take it out a little bit. The paycheck is not as good. Yeah.
Yes, and we approach discipline different on the child and on the circumstance. Very different on every child and circumstance. Are you interested in having a reality TV show?
No.
No, I can't imagine somebody else editing our life.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Hello, do you ever get depressed or feel down? You always look happy in your videos. When I watch your videos, they make me feel happier. I was wondering if you ever felt depressed and how you deal with it. Do I always look happy? I don't deal with depression, except like if it's gray for a really long time around here, like the sun doesn't come out. And then sometimes I can tell if I need to get out of the house once in a while. I can feel overwhelmed more. And so, but sometimes just like literally leaving the house and driving somewhere in the car by myself can go a long way. Okay, do you guys come from a big family? Is that why you guys are a big family?
We have more kids than both of our parents combined.
Yes. He came from a family of 6 kids. I came from a family of 2 kids. That might be why I wanted a big family. I don't know. Yay, I just thought about you and your family. How do you discipline your children, or do they never disobey? And are you guys complementarian or egalitarian? Complementarian or egalitarian? The last question is out of curiosity. The first one is a desperate cry for some help. We'll talk more about discipline maybe in the future for that desperate cry for help. And the other question, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's the approach of either positive reinforcement as opposed to and rewards.
Being legalistic with them.
Yeah, no, I think picking a side to begin with is probably not is a mistake. I think because every situation needs a different
I could see a little bit of both here and there, somewhere in the middle.
We haven't picked one side or the other.
Yeah.
But we use both approaches when appropriate.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Do you guys go to a non-denominational church? Have you thought about joining a different denomination?
No. I grew up in a denomination, so.
Yeah.
But we're not non-denomination, but we're in a fellowship of churches, of related churches, so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, Sarah, have you and Solo ever thought about moving your family to Kenya? Yes, we have. It hasn't worked out, and we are happy doing what we're doing right now, but we have. Not to be up in your financial business at all, but is what you make on YouTube enough to make a living on, like at least $3,000 to $5,000 a month? Really wanting to go into YouTube business and just wondering if it would be worth it or not. Obviously going into it with no expectations because my channel would be a big hit or a miss and would take time to build. Thanks, Catherine.
We're actually new on YouTube.
Yeah.
Number one. Definitely there's some people that are making a lot of money there.
Yeah. I think you could definitely make that if you have really good views and put a lot of effort into your channel for a while.
Yeah, you could go to a business with an expected outcome sometimes, or but this is so random.
Yeah.
So,
and we're definitely not experts.
We're definitely not experts. Is it possible? Absolutely.
How do you guys add God in your relationship? Would you live in Kenya?
We don't add God in our relationship. I tell you that for sure. But it all started with God. When we got together, we both had a relationship with God. So we weren't adding Him into the relationship. He already was the center of both of our lives. So He actually unites us. But I do know that sometimes people come together where they find God after they are already together. And so that's a different question. So I can't answer directly. That's a question for another time. But
I think she means, how do we incorporate the Lord in our relationship, maybe?
It might be.
Maybe. And we do pray together. I mean, we talk together about spiritual matters all the time and that kind of thing too.
And everything is
about what the Lord wants in our lives anyway.
Exactly. We will live in Kenya, no doubt about it.
How often do you guys go on a date night or make time for each other? And what's your method for disciplining? I think we talked about the discipline a lot, but
right, on the date nights, not as often as we would like to.
Yes.
But we try.
Yes. Yeah. I want to know how you stay motivated to wake up each day and do all you need to do. How do you ensure that you don't get overwhelmed? I love what I do. I love what I do, and it motivates me to get out of bed in the morning, and I'm very thankful for that because I don't think it's as fun when you don't love what you do.
Same with me. So, like I say, that's what it is. Yeah. Passionate about what we do.
We are blessed.
Yeah.
Do you have a breakdown budget for everything or just food and school supplies? Oh, no.
It's everything.
Everything.
I mean everything.
But for example, do you have a monthly spending budget? How strict are you to keeping the budget? Okay, we do go over sometimes in some areas, but then some other areas have to compromise and give up some money if we go over in one area.
And the key is with budgeting is looking at it as a guide. Yes, having goals. Mm-hmm. Because I've seen couples fight over it, and it's not really worth fighting over it, but it's a guide. It's a guide.
And it helps us accomplish our goals for sure. Next one says, more grocery hauls, and what's your monthly budget? I think we talk about that. Anyway, in our grocery haul, it's $1,200 a month. If you've seen one of them, you know that probably. When asked if you want more children, Solo always says he's happy with the number he has. Is this something you two talk about when you're discussing having more children, or is he leaving it up to you? Because I'm pretty sure you would love to have more. I don't know.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm happy with all I have. I have 9 kids. I love them very much. And before that, I had 8.
Yes,
and I love them very much.
Hi again. This is my second question, but I'm just so in love with your gorgeous I thought it said grocery family. Gorgeous family.
We eat a
have
lot.
you ever had any pets? We have not.
I take care of way too many living things in this house.
We probably have a dog by now if you didn't have a strong opinion about that, but
and then
that's
if you're
okay.
traveling, you have to find a place for the
Yes,
dog.
I always say I'm already cleaning up a whole lot of poop around here, so I
Yeah.
don't really need any more, but I get tempted once in a while. Do you ever get any sleep, and how do you afford everything? We afford everything with jobs, and we do get sleep. We do get sleep. Right now, we're in a season of not as much sleep.
And dependency on God a lot.
Yes.
Can't do it on your own.
No.
Well, we can't do it on our own. Some people
Yes,
can.
yeah. I don't know if you've already shared this info in earlier videos, newish subscriber here, but I'd love to hear how both of you came to salvation. I don't remember when I got saved. I got saved very young. I gave my heart to the Lord. And then...
I did when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
It was a whole story by itself,
Yes,
but it's good.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
His friend invited him to a small group. So we like small groups. How would you deal with your family pressuring you to have children? I've only been married 3 years and we're remodeling our house, but my family thinks we should start having babies. Sometimes it seems like more for them than for us. We have not had this problem.
Yeah, but it should always be about you, for you. It's
Yes,
not them.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. Our family's
The
like,
two shall
how many kids
become
are
one.
you having? Yes, the two shall become one. That's right. It's really about what you guys want,
Yeah.
whether it's more or less than what they think. As people who grew up in a Christian home, what's one of the defining moments when God became very real to you and your faith became your own versus just the way you were raised?
We answered that. 16 years old for me.
Yeah, and I had a really defining moment when I was 15, and I really had an experience with the Lord and was filled with the Holy Spirit, and actually my life changed a lot, even though I had known the Lord and served Him my whole life. So I lost a lot of fears that I had and all kinds of things. So the Lord did a lot in my life too. What do you believe in as far as salvation, and how many siblings do you both have? I have one.
We answered that
Yes,
too.
5. You know, as far as salvation, we believe that Jesus is the only way
Way, the truth, and the
in the
life.
life. Favorite Bible verse? I think,
A whole bunch of them.
and you know the one that you said in your head when you want to scream. Mine is Ephesians 6.
Which one? Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and your mother.
We lost battery again, but we are powering through. We are determined to hit all these questions, and now there's 222. So we got to get them before anybody adds any more.
Well, this might look different because it's a different camera altogether.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Have any of the kids expressed an interest in living in Kenya for a time?
yeah, especially when we go. Huh?
They love Kenya.
Yeah.
So how much time do you spend editing each vlog, and how long does it take before you start earning income for it? We talked
answered
about
that,
the
yeah.
editing, but earning income, it took us, it would have taken us about 4 months, but YouTube was behind, so it took about 9. Hugs from South Africa. Well, hello. Oh, Marianne, I know you. And when are you going to Kenya? What are good Bible studies? Oh, we don't know when we're going to Kenya. What are good women's Bible studies you can recommend? And would you do a Bible study series? I don't know. I haven't thought about that. And more recipes coming. Right now, just for a quick little devotional study, I'm reading Streams in the Desert, I think it's called. My mom used to read it when I was a kid, and I love it. It's a great one. More recipe videos coming. Yes. More babies.
I don't know. I already answered that.
Love your channel and family. May God bless you all. Thank you.
God bless you too. We receive the blessings. Yeah.
Hey, Sarah and family, I'm curious of what kind of church you go to. It's a non-denominational church. What your job is as a pastor. We pastor together, so he pastors, but I feel like as a pastor's wife that we do it as a team too. Yes. And I'm always a bit jealous of people who believe in God. Even when I went to a Catholic school in Belgium, it's so unusual to be religious. One of the reasons that I like watching American families on YouTube is to see what Christian life can be like. Greetings. Hanek? Yeah.
Oh, Belgium. We've been to Belgium a few times.
Yes.
Yeah. Brussels.
Yeah. Okay, I do care for my 4-year-old and 1-year-old granddaughters 5 days a week, 9 hours a day. Wow. I am wondering how you remain so calm and patient. To be honest, there are times when I feel so overwhelmed. How do you manage? I do feel overwhelmed sometimes, to be honest. And I manage by trying to take care of myself, trying to get as much rest as I can. That helps a lot. Trying to eat healthy helps me a lot too. And boy, when I start my day with prayer and reading my Bible, that helps a lot for me too. Who do you turn to for mom inspiration, tips, advice, homeschooling, etc.? I tell you, when I was a younger mother, it was hard to find online people that, especially I was looking for large families and stuff to be an encouragement to me. And I had really struggled to find people. There were not many. And so now I think there's a whole lot more of that online. And then I also prayed for friendships that could be a help to me. I have a best friend I've had for a long time. She's a great encouragement to me. And then the Lord has also given me other homeschooling and large family friends now. And they are a great resource for me. How do you keep up with everything between bills, school, expenses, and most importantly, your kids? Just like time scheduling, we block schedule things, even when we're going to do our bills.
Yeah.
My husband and I are on our 5th, and it seems like we're already always tired and drained at the end of the day. Are we ever like that?
It happens.
Yes. We get tired and drained at the end of the day.
It's a stage of life, yeah.
Yeah, I admire you and Sola for being able to have a large family and still be happy. It's very refreshing to see. I'm glad we can be refreshing and a blessing. We do get tired too at the end of our days. And I love actually getting to the end of my day and being tired. I think it's a great feeling, like you worked
then you
hard.
Then you sleep good.
Yeah, right. Does Solo have a single brother?
A single brother?
Yes, you do.
I do have one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you happily married still? And how can you improve your relationship? Do you want more children? We are happily married still. And
are we happily married?
How can we improve our relationship? It's so good. I don't think there could ever be improved. We work on it all the time.
Yeah.
And then do you want more children?
We answered that.
Is that going to be your answer now? I think you have a P.O. box. I want to drop you a card. Can you please share it? Oh, that's so sweet. It's in our About box on our YouTube channel. You can find it there because I don't know it off the top of my head. And then also, Sarah, self-care is important and so hard when you're a mom. What do you do for yourself when you have a few minutes to spare? I like to be by myself.
Did you read that?
Yeah, I think I've answered that one, a few times. Do you guys ever get alone time and how often? Are you too exhausted to enjoy it? We have been once. We went to dinner once and we were like, and then we were so tired. We're like, we better do this a little more often.
Yeah.
It was
that's
so
when
funny.
That's when you've taken too long. Yeah.
Yeah, we just laughed about it.
Yeah.
We were so tired. Are you going to have one more child to make 10? That's a good question.
We already answered that.
iPhones and tablets, laptops, and all the screens in all of our faces. How do you as parents make your children feel less without in a world of so much need and want? My son just turned 27. It was not an issue for me. I wonder how parents cope. Man, I know you're lucky. It was not an issue for you raising your kids, because we do hear our kids do not feel that pressure a lot because they are homeschooled. But we do hear that from our friends that it's a lot of pressure to have all the things. And I don't even know what to say about that. I don't like having all the things. And I don't like our kids having all the things. And I really admire parents who can withstand the pressure and do what they feel is right for their own children.
Yep.
You have anything to say about it?
She said it all. I do have a lot to say about it, but I'm not going to.
Oh.
She said it all.
Well then. Okay, off topic, you guys are by far my favorite family to watch. What a great comment to end on. I like that question. You're just amazing.
Who's her name? What's her name or his name?
Jenny Justine.
Jenny, you're just the best.
Thank you, Jenny.
You are the best.
Jenny. Guys, we always appreciate all your comments. You guys are so encouraging, uplifting all the time, and it's great. It's great. If I'm having a down day, man, I can just go read the comments, and it's awesome. So we always appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out and getting to the end of our 222 questions.
She had faith. I did not.
We'll talk to you soon.